Reduction means to be ejected. It means to be demoted. That's what it means. And when we talk about the powers that reduces men, because you are here in this second service, I will just give you a little expo. They actually have a name, and there are three of them. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. So what are the spirits that legislate reduction in the lives of men? The first name of the spirit we find in the text, Satan came to Eve and said, has God said that you should not eat of every tree of the garden? Was that what God said? Was that the command? The first name of the powers of reduction is the spirit of false teachers. Satan twisted the commandment of God. I will show you the spirit and then I delve into what I'm about to say. The spirit of false teachers. And so they will ensure that every information you hear is falsehood. So you remain where you are. They will ensure that all you encounter is false teachings, incorrect half-truths, incorrect informations, so that you never rise. The second name of the spirit that reduces men is the spirit of envy. Satan was heavily envious of the status and the stature of Adam and Eve. Spirit of envy. Why am I giving you the name? So that after this service, when you find them in oppression, you don't take it for granted. When you find the activities of these devils in oppression, you will know what is happening. It's the spirit of envy. Every time you are surrounded by envious people, you are even surprised what they are envious about. This is the spirit of reduction at work. The third name of the spirit that functions as a power over reduction is the spirit of entitlement. Satan got Eve to become so entitled to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil to the extent that she could disobey God. It's the spirit of entitlement. Every time you come to a stage of your life where you feel you are so entitled to what you desire, in complete disregard for kingdom principle or truth, the spirit of reduction is at work. These are the names of the three spirits. And if you notice, false teacher is F, envy is E, entitlement is E. That is a fee. So the things that have been freely given to you, when the spirits are in operation, you begin to pay a fee. Life is coded in labor and too much struggle. But in the name of Jesus, you are breaking free. I say you are breaking free. So what is then the oppression of these spirits? What is then the oppression of these powers? What do they look out for in the life of a man to ensure that he or she comes down? How does the spirit of reduction carry out their agenda? There are three things that God brings to a man that becomes the basis for the attraction of the powers of reduction. Three things. And every time you notice a battle around you, it is minimum one of these things that the enemy is after. And I'll show you the three of them from our text. There are three advantages that God will bring to your life that becomes the basis of attack or attraction of these demonic forces. And what is the first? Now the serpent was more subtle than every beast of the field the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, he said unto the woman, stop there. So who is the woman? It's not good that man should be alone. I will make a help meet for him. And Eve was added to Adam. The first thing that attracts the powers of reduction, number one, is addition. Every time God adds to you, a battle is set. Please hear me. Every time you come into an advantage, the enemy takes a vantage position against you. Addition will always annoy the opposition. Please don't joke with what I'm telling you. Every time there is a deposit in and around your life, the powers of reduction are angered. As soon as Eve came on the scene, the serpent came on the scene. I prefer him to be alone, so we must fight it. Wait a minute. Whatever God has added to your life, that is the reason for the current battles. I command the hand of the wicked to dry up now. You had a dream and you were plucking ripe fruits. Somebody handed a basket of ripe fruits to you. You thought that because they wanted to start fruit business. It's a lie, sir. Spiritually, that is a transfer, an addition, an increase in rank. You had a dream and then you were going around a farm and every fruit of that farm was ripe. That is a change of rank, an addition. Are you hearing me here, please? You think they are happy that you just got married? Or you just packed into your house? Or you just bagged a new degree? Whatever God has given you that has angered the wicked, it becomes a confusion in their camp. So what does the woman connote from our text? Why will God always add to the set? The woman connotes companionship. Eve connotes companionship. And what does that mean? Something that should be permanent. So the enemy is angry because the addition should be permanent. Are you hearing me here? Eve in the life of Adam was a permanent blessing until death do us part. So the enemy knows that what you have received from God is permanent. And that gives you an advantage. God knows what he has given you. Satan knows what he has given you. It's only you that don't know what you have received. So that is why everything that has been transferred to you, we easily let it go. After I am done, you will know what to contend for. Are you hearing me here, please? The woman also represents procreation. Without Eve, Adam could not multiply. So what does procreation mean? Something that should give birth to other things. So the enemy knows that that addition is a facility for more additions. Are you hearing me here, please? The enemy knows that once you are employed in Uniben, you will be pushed for your masters. You will be pushed for a PhD. In no time, you become a prof. In no time, you become a dean. From one employment letter to a change of status. So they are angry. Are you hearing me here? The anger is because that addition is an economy for more additions. And he said to the woman, so he was after the addition over the life of Adam. Hear what I teach you this morning. He was after the addition that Adam has come into. He was after it. He was after it. That is the first source of attraction for the powers of reduction. Every time you procure a blessing, you need to stand your ground. Are you hearing me here, please? Every time you procure a blessing, you need to stand your ground. You need to stand your ground. For the blessing of the Lord maketh rich. That's no sorrow. If the devil did not give you, he has no right to take it. What he did not give, there is no legislation for him to take it. Stand your ground. Help me talk about this, stand your ground. So the first attraction for the serpent in the garden was because an addition has entered into Adam's life. The second attraction for the powers of reduction, the serpent said, yea, has God said. So number one, he attacked Eve, addition. Number two, he attacked what God has said, instruction. Every time you receive a commandment from God, you have accessed his commitment. Every time God mentions his commandment, it is a measure of his commitment. Instruction. People are waiting to know where to go. Instruction is the basis of strategy. Yea, have God said. Have God said. And so you will notice, after that dream or that prophetic word, and the word came to you directly, suddenly, the following days, the following weeks, nothing was making sense. Even the ones that you were enjoying suddenly began to come down. And you are now wondering, I thought after this word, it should become better. Am I talking here? I thought after this dream that was so positive, things should improve. The powers of reduction have understood the forces behind that instruction. Have God said? Have God said? What is the power of a divine instruction? The first thing is to guide. Something that will deliver you from temptation. So what God said to Adam was to deliver him from engaging in that tree. That is how powerful a divine instruction is. What else again? It is to guard. Something that should insulate you against manipulation. So divine instructions act as both a guide and a guard. As both a guide and a guard. And so you have received it. Your word have come. Joseph was bound in fetters, kept in prison, until the time that his word came. The king sent for him and loosed him, and made him to teach his senators wisdom, until the time that his word came. Until the time that his word came. The prophecy on his head was hanging until the time that his word came. What do you have in your house? Nothing, sir. Save one small jar of oil. It's okay. Get to your house. Shut the door. Borrow many vessels and begin to pour. And she lived on that with her sons for many days, until the time that his word came. You think what just came was a mere word? It was a divine instruction. And that is why the battle has intensified. Every time God speaks to you, you're not the only one that heard it. Because he spoke in the spirit. Every time God spoke to you, you are not the only one that had it. The problem why it did not come to pass, or it is still pending, because you are the only one that have not taken action. Spirits have moved already. They are called the powers of reduction. I announced to 119 persons, the powers of your foundation that has vowed you will not amount to much, I command them down. So the second platform or ecosystem of attraction is instructions. It's instructions. That is strategy. That's strategy. As God said, of all the creatures in the garden, only Adam had the advantage of the commandment. Only Adam was furnished with the advantage of the commandment. Please, this is very important. That is why the battle has intensified. Number one, God has added to you. You are asking, why me? Why me? I'll be sent to answer. Lord, why me? Am I the only person alive? Why me? I'll be sent to answer. Number one is a proof. Something has been added to you. Something has been added to your crown. You are asking, why me? It is a proof that the word you received was valid. It's a proof that the instruction you encountered was valid. So that's why the powers of reduction have been set in motion. Has God said? He spoke to the woman, his first attack, then he attacked what God said. And what is the final thing? I'm not spending more time here because we are going to pray. Chains will be broken right now. The forces of your father's house will let you go. did God say that you should not eat of every tree of the garden? So in that verse 1, he mentioned the woman, twisted the commandment, and mentioned the garden. What does the garden represent to Adam? The third basis of attraction of these powers is direction. Number 3 is direction. It's direction. Every time you pray, God answers you in any of these 3 platforms. That's why it's called AID. It's an aid. What is an aid? An intervention. Every time you pray, either he adds to you, or tells you what to do, or show you where to go. This is the economy of divine intervention. Are you hearing me here, please? So the garden was direction. How do I know that? And God took the man and put him in the garden. We don't know where Adam was, but it was not good. So he took him in the garden. Where was the garden? It was planted in the east. God planted a garden in the east. So there was space in that territory, but he chose the east, not the north, not the south or the west. The garden was planted in the east. So the garden is direction. You cannot communicate speed to a man that does not know where to go. It's not an advantage. Direction is your greatest asset in this kingdom. Many are in the valley of decision. Many. Lord, what do I do? Lord, where do I go? And he says, go. Thou shalt hear a voice behind me saying, this is the way. Walk here in it. When you turn to the right and to the left, thou shalt hear a voice. Thou shalt hear a voice. The third reason why the battle has intensified, because what you thought was a joke was actually a direction for your life. What you have not taken seriously was actually a direction for your life. How powerful is a divine direction? 2 things. The first economy that direction brings you into is authority. So as soon as Adam was put in that garden, he had authority over all the fowls of the air, all the beasts of the field, to dominate, to dress it, and to keep it. Authority is simply a license of operation. So every time God tells you where to go, he has licensed you to operate. Are you here? Are you hearing me here? Every time God points you where to go, he has licensed you to operate. So the department you currently are, that you secured from the voice of God, is a license to operate. Can I announce to you, whoever is angry at your position will be angry forever. Every conspiracy at your place of work to ridicule you, I command it terminated. Every gang up of the wickedness of the wicked to demote you, I command terminated. So direction is authority, it's a license. Come on, say license. It's a license. Direction also brings you into an economy called territory. Direction, authority. Direction, territory. And what is territory? Your landmark of operation. It's your boundary. To ignore your jurisdiction is to be wounded in the next junction. Everybody has a jurisdiction to operate. Everybody. If you don't know your scope of operation, you will end up on a slope. Everybody has a scope of operation. So whenever God shows you where to operate, brings you into an economy where you can operate, it attracts the powers of reduction. Attracts the powers of reduction. Go to Uniben, study so and so course, and you are wondering what is happening. You are not dull, GP is going down. All lecturers hate you. Ooh. You are not just there because you filled the form. You are there because you were informed. People enter territory because they were informed. Others entered because they filled the form. There are two different things, and it determines the attack that you secure. Are you hearing me here, please? Three reasons why the powers of reduction fight a man. Fight a man. You are the only one that did not know. That's why he has brought me to tell you. Whenever you notice that the battle has intensified, become intelligent. What have I received? Is it addition? What did I hear? Instruction? Where have I been sent to? Or where am I? Direction. Check, check, check. You don't need to pray. The battle is a testimony that what you have gotten is correct. Satan will only attack what is authentic. Authenticity annoys the enemy. Are you hearing me here, please? So it's a proof. It's a proof that what you have received is genuine. It's valid. It's genuine. It's valid. I end with this because we have to pray. I'm angry in my spirit. I sat there almost before that last AC when the Lord showed me my wife's date of birth. 2013, February 13. The day, the month, and the year. Showed me. And began to tell me certain things that our offsprings will walk into. The first 3 months when she told me that she was pregnant, she heard me for the first time. I saw that she died on the day of delivery. I saw. On the day when she was in the hospital, I have taken her on Friday, so I went back to get prepared to come on Saturday. I just came back, just being tired. I sat on the chair and I was in a trance. And I saw that I was coming, they were wheeling her lifeless corpse. I did not eat again. I slept more, put my time by 12. Woke up by 12. 12:05, I put her picture down. I was dancing. I was dancing. I was dancing. Because this one I have received. I was informed. So I understand. Are you not telling me here? 12 to 5, I was dancing. Who born devil? You can't take what you did not give.